This is the Marvel Legends series. Marvel Studios, the first 10 years, Captain America and Crossbones. 2-pack. Both characters were prominently featured in the movie Captain America 3, Civil War. And finally, we've gotten a Crossbones figure from Hasbro. Looking great. And an unmasked Steve Rogers. Very, as accurate as can be. Even an unmasked Crossbones. Okay. Nice. Interesting. Civil War. Yep. Very cool. I picked up this set or these figures from Artoys. And very excited to show these figures to you guys. Let's crack this set open. And here they are outside of packaging, and it is a great set, especially if you've not picked up any version of this Captain America figure. Let's start with Cap. Now, if the mold looks very familiar, that's because we've already seen this particular mold released in previous Marvel Legends Hasbro releases, and it's been released in two versions at least. The battle damaged one in the 3-pack and the one in the Giant Man Build-A-Figure wave. And the shade of blue that they used on this one, it's very difficult to place. It's not as dark as the it's not as dark as the ones that were released before, and it's not as light. It's not light blue, obviously. So it's sort of like in the middle, like a muted type of blue, of indigo, or sort of, I don't know if it's navy blue mixed with midnight blue, but I'm liking it. There is some discrepancy though with the paint apps, and as you can see, it's a little bit shiny on the chest, while the arms are a little bit matte. So that's fine, but I'm liking this muted sort of blue color. It's not exactly the same shade of blue that we've seen as previously released, but I really like it. Okay, we're given a better head sculpt, a much better one than this one. Absolutely looks like a comic series Captain America compared to this one. This is more of the Chris Pine new face painting technology version that Hasbro has released, and I like it. I actually like it. And what's interesting is they also used the same technology, that face painting technology, on the masked head sculpt of Captain America, and I'm liking it. Is it just me, or the masked version looks more like Chris than this one? This one just, it looks oily, yeah, but because it's a shiny flesh plastic. But there's just something about it. The way, I don't know if it's the way the lips are painted or the way the whole lip and jaw is sculpted. The eyes are sort of accurate with this one as well as this one. This one's very accurate. But between the two, this one is the more accurate looking face for me. I like the hair on this one though. I mean, look at that. It's great. I mean, it's not a deal breaker or anything like that. I think they almost nailed it with this sculpt. And it's just something about it. I don't know. And I guess it's this area here, which this one got right. Okay. All right. So that's that. And he comes with a nice cleanly painted shield. And the articulation is going to be the same because we've already seen this figure. There's a little bit of mold degradation on my figure, some looseness here and there, but I'm glad they're not stuck joints, because we've seen a lot of those. A lot of my buddies have also been reporting some of those stuck joints, like some of the Infinity War figures and all that. Okay, on to Crossbones. Now this one is great, and most of the collectors are going to be after this particular figure when buying this set. This is the one that sells this particular set, because we should have gotten him in Civil War, but Hasbro decided to wait a little longer before actually making a Crossbones, Cinematic Universe Crossbones figure, and I think they got this one right. It looks absolutely amazing. It's got phenomenal details. If you've seen the movie, who hasn't, right? Civil War, they got it right. we'll talk about this head sculpt later, but it at first glance it looks a little bit, he looks thin a little bit, but the actor Frank Grillo is a little bit lithe. He's ripped, and he's like, he's not as big or bulked up as you'd think he is. If you've seen the movie, he looked big in the movie, but looking at the images and the figure, they got it right. The proportions are right. In fact, these, what do you call it, shocker gauntlets or whatever, they actually look much bigger than how they actually were. They look smaller in this shot than this one. So I was about to complain that they're small, but they're actually right. They're just right. They got the details down to the last details on his costume, the ammo, the armor plate or the vest. Wow. And look at that. Even the shading on the armor, look at that. The scratches, the X scratching. Yeah, could use some more work. Maybe customizers can still improve that paint, but they got it. They got it right. Okay. And speaking of the Frank Grillo head sculpt, wow, this is amazing. I think they did a better job with this one than they did with the Chris Pine head sculpt. Looks a lot more like Jigsaw than Crossbones, but I think they got it right. Okay. So really nice. Well done, Hasbro. Would have been nice if the helmet was just removable and it revealed this, but you know, I don't really care. As long as we get an unmasked head, don't have to buy another figure for it, I'm all for it. Like Jason Voorhees mask, look at that. Really nice. And I think it's removable. And if you remove it, I'm guessing it'll only have eyes and a very smooth face. So yeah, judging from the thinness of that flesh plastic right there. Anyway, so on the back, you got more details of the vest, the pants, the uniform, the boots, fatigues, and the punching gauntlets. Oh, nice that is. I love it. I think Hasbro did a wonderful job on this one. If you're wondering if the vest is removable, it is. You'll have to pop off the head to do that and remove it. It's just a plain black shirt underneath. Just I don't know if you can see it right there. It's pretty plain. There's nothing exciting, nothing too fancy with that. So articulation for this figure. Let's talk about it since it's a new figure. It's not. Let me just snap that thing on. Okay. The head is on a ball joint that is on a hinge. It's got a ball jointed upper torso. A little bit hindered because of the vest. If you twist it right here, it tends to just, it feels like it's gonna pop off. But that's it, no big deal. Nothing, not too much to worry about. Ball hinge shoulders. They can move in and out, and these don't really interfere. These extra pieces don't interfere with that articulation. Swivel bicep, double jointed forearms. And these are removable. The gauntlets are removable, if you're wondering. So double jointed forearms, ball hinge wrists that go in and out, ball jointed hips go like that and like that, thigh swivel, a little bit loose on mine, molded in guns. Why, Hasbro? Anyway, double jointed knees go like that, no calf swivel, interesting, ball hinge ankles. And the way the joint's been cut, Hasbro's been known to, it kind of makes the foot look like it's wearing a slipper. It's not. It's just the way the foot's been cut, but it's pretty good. Good range of articulation. You can get him into really decent poses. So some final thoughts on the figures or on the set. It's a great set. If you've never picked up the Captain America figure, this is a perfect time to pick up this set and this version of Cap. Most of the collectors, I reckon, are just going to be after the Crossbones for this set and probably sell off this other figure. But if you ask me, I think both figures are keepers. You can do away with the previously released Captain Americas and keep this one. But for those of you who are just looking for one of the figures and not really caring about the others, the high price point might not be as justifiable. You might want to wait for it to go a little bit lower. but don't wait for it to go on clearance, because these things, I guarantee, are gonna fly off the shelf, especially because you've got a very good Crossbones figure. Out here in Manila, these are going for about $56 to about $62, and a little bit pricey, but I think they are well worth the price, and you're getting your money's worth with these two figures. I absolutely love them. The set, despite some of my nitpick complaints, is going to get a solid 10 out of 10. I love it, and I'm very grateful to Hasbro for releasing a Crossbones figure, for that matter, and perhaps one of the best version of this Captain America figure. This is the Captain America we see him in before Infinity War, just before the fallout with Tony Stark. I think it's one of the best versions in the movie and in the toy of Cap in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So there you go, folks. Hope you've enjoyed this little video review. This has been the Marvel Legends series, the Marvel Studios, the first 10 years, Captain America and Crossbones from the Captain America Civil War 2-pack. Thanks for watching.